Hi, Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome. Well, my second attempt to try to make this video. I had almost finished making it. I was going to edit and put it all together when we had a massive power failure for a couple of hours and we were in darkness. Yesterday we had a massive power failure that went for 3 hours. Luckily we have a generator so we can keep our fridges running, and we have battery operated fans because it is quite warm, and without air conditioning it can be pretty bad. But we've got through it. However, there is a storm front approaching, so you might hear some thunder in the background noise. So today's video is a little catch up on what I've been doing this week, which is making bits and pieces in between working on big projects. So I've made some crochet and knitted bits and pieces that I thought I'd share with you, because I've joined a few make-alongs, or plan to join in a few make-alongs. I may not do the whole make-along, but I'll do bits and pieces of their make-along. So let's get started. The first one off the ranks is Ella at No Catchy Name is having a make-along called the Kaleidoscope Make-Along, where she invites you to use your variegated, striped, multicolored yarn to make a project. Send her a photo for a slideshow. I think it's running till April, but don't quote me on that. What I will do is, in the description below, as normal, I will link all the make-alongs, channels, patterns, anything I can think of that I mentioned in the video that you might like to check out. So first off the ranks, for her make-along, I decided I would use a mandala cake I had left over that was sent to me by my yarny friend Janice in Victoria. Hi Janice. I had used quite a bit of this in a throw, but I had one cake left over where I'd used a bit of. So that's the colorway there in the mandala cake. Now mandala cake has quite a bit of meterage. It's 540 meters or 590 yards, and I probably had about 500 yards left in this cake, and I wanted to use it up. So I decided I would make some beanies that I can donate to charity. So the first one I made came out in this colorway from the cake, and this is, I'll get the pattern, a free pattern on Ravelry called the Farm Beanie by Alison Britt from Sparrow Play. So there's a picture of the men's. It ranges in sizes all from child right through to adult, and there's the child's. It's a knitted beanie, of course, and I made a smaller size because I thought it would be nice. Look, I didn't mind knitting it. I'm not sure if it's the yarn or just me, but I didn't quite like the way it turned out. But it's still okay to donate to charity. So that was beanie number one for the kaleidoscope. Continuing with that mandala cake and the colorway, I made another knitted beanie. This one. This is the Ross beanie from Ross, who smells like yarn, his channel, and his free pattern, which is on Ravelry, and I think there may be a tutorial for it. Look, it can be made like a skull cap or a slouch, and I decided to make this one a bit bigger in a slouch. Before Christmas, one of the charities was calling for purple beanies, and I thought I'd donate this one in case they need another one. For whatever reason, they wanted purple beanies. It's got a bit of pink, but it's predominantly purple. So that was beanie number two, and both knitted, and I used my Chai Goo 4mm knitting needles for those two. I then had some needed to take some breaks at work because work's been pretty busy, and I thought I would make another one for the kaleidoscope now, and I had Premier Serenity sock yarn. Now there's quite a bit of meterage in this, 210 meters or 230 yards in a 50-gram ball, and I had one ball left of this in the colorway Pastel Party. Now it's super fine one, which is probably not quite a 4-ply. It looks like a 4-ply to me, but who knows? So I have the one ball and I split it. I took the middle out because I wanted to hold two threads together to knit my next project. So I decided to make a little tea cozy. The 1 cup teapot tea cozy is quite popular at my market stalls. So this is for a future market stall. It's my pattern. It's a rib pattern which makes it quite stretchy, and it's my pattern for the flower on top. But that was my second project or third project for the Kaleidoscope Mal. And yes, I used 4mm Chai Goose for that one. So next off the ranks, I was watching Rose from Rose Lakes Crochet, and she's doing random acts of kindness this year. And what she does is she draws something out and she invites you to make these little projects, and you take a photo of them, you know, gift it up and tell her where you left them around your community. And she drew out shamrocks, and I knew I had a bit of scrap green that I wanted to use up. So I made, oops, that way, 2 shamrocks. I've left the backs on them because I don't have any brooch clips, but I'm hoping I can get some this week, and I'll turn them into little brooches before I bag them up and gift them. I like doing random acts of kindness in my community. I've probably been doing it 2 or 3 years, and I've only ever had one appear on the Facebook group page. But it's still nice to know that they have been found. And I want to leave these 2 around. So that one's in Spotlight Super Saver. And no, that one's in Spotlight Super Saver. That's Red Heart Super Saver. And then my 2 little shamrocks for Rose Lakes Crochet, Random Acts of Kindness, which I think is a great make-along, just to have, you know, to do something kind for other people. The tutorial I used for this was the Bag a Day 4-leaf or 3-leaf clover, whichever one you want to make, tutorial, because it's a really good tutorial and they do look really pretty. And I used a 4mm clover hook to make those. So my market stall in the future, I've said before, I'm not one for doing lots of prep where I make 10 of something, and I really am not a production line. And I've sort of decided with the markets coming up in the future, I'd plod along and make a few things along the way. So the first thing I've made this week, and it's from Mill Ends blanket yarn, so it's just Mill Ends that I have bought, I made a maple chicken. I made 2 of these at my last market, and they're very quick to sell, and it's a really quick make when I'm on a break. And yes, maple chicken. I can't remember whose tutorial it is, but it'll definitely be in the description below. I then decided I wanted to try, because I saw it come up on my feed, No Catchy Names mini octo tutorial. I've made mini octos before, but I just sort of like the way she did the tentacles, and so I made 2 in Mill End blanket yarn. I still haven't quite got the hang of doing the eyes. They look a bit alien, but they turned out really cute. I'll either put them on keychains for my market stall, or I'll just sell them really cheap for the kids to have. And I like it because the tentacles are like little legs and they curl up, and they're really different to other octos I've done. So there you go. I've just dropped my notes. Won't be a moment. So there were my mini makes or bits and pieces I've made this week, along with working on bigger projects. Now, there was a night there where the whips, I couldn't decide which one I wanted to make. And yes, it's looking a bit empty because 3 whips are out in the other room that I've been working on. But Reeves came up with an idea one night, something very similar he used to do when he was at university, and he had a lot of subjects to cover and things to do, and he decided he would help me with this. So I used the random name pickle wheel for drawers, and I listed my 11 whips, and he doubled it, which made it 22, and put them on the wheel. And the idea is you spin the wheel 3 times. So the first item to come out, no. Second item, no. The third item that comes out is what you will work on that night or that day. And what came out for me was, it's back here in its cubby, socks. I'd started these because I was joining I am joining Socksy Nana and My Pink Bathtub sock along for 2025. Now, I don't make a lot of socks, nor do I wear them in the tropics very often, but I do when I go overseas. And I thought I'd join in. Probably take me all year to make one pair of socks, not one a month. But I worked on my socks because it came up on his wheel as number 3 item to it that came out. So here is my socks. First sock. Now I only knit one sock at a time. This is the 4th pair I've ever made. I learnt through Earth Tones Girl tutorial on socks and shadow wrap heel, and I really enjoyed it, and it was easy to follow. I do like using 2 circulars like this. I normally use higher sharps, but I didn't have them in the size. I had 2 Knit Pro, and I really quite like the Knit Pro for this. It's working out really well. And that is the first sock. The yarn was gifted to me by the lovely Cairns quite some time ago, and I kept thinking I have to make a nice pair of socks with that when I find a pattern. So this is the sock set that she sent me, this with this. So what I'm going to do is probably do right through the heel in this color and do the toes in this color and have that as my socks. And the pattern has been in my Ravelry library for quite some time. It's a free pattern, and I've always sort of admired it and thought I'll make that one day. Well, now the opportunity is here. Old sweatshirt socks, this one, and that's what I'm making. For me, to stop myself getting second sock syndrome, as soon as I finish one sock, I cast on and do the cuff of the second sock, and that makes me continue on with making a pair. And I know my first pair weren't great, my second pair were a little better, my third pair was really good. So my 4th pair, these ones, should be awesome. They're in my flowered sheep project bag, which Reeves happened to buy for me, not this Christmas, the one before. And yeah, so he selected socks on the wheel that night. But they're back in the cubby because I'm working on 3, because I really want to get one finished, because it's a make-along and a collaboration. So a make-along collaboration made in Australia, which is some Australian podcasters collaborating on making an item for Australia Day, which is January the 26th, and we started it on December the 26th. And our host, who came up with the idea, lets her at Coco's Crochet. So for those who've been following me, you know I'm making the blue scarf, and the pattern is the Spectrum Blip scarf, these 2. I should open that up more. The pattern is by Jimmy Does Knitting, and this is an Australian author, and it's a children's book, R.M. McGurk, and it's a children's picture book, a young children's picture book. It's not too late to join us. I haven't had many photos in because I do want to do a bit of a slideshow when we show you our finished objects. I've almost finished my scarf. So if you want to send me some photos, if you've joined us in the make along, you just email them to me around no later than the 24th of January, because I'll need a couple of days to put together a slideshow. I'm not that great at editing. It takes me a while, and it'd be nice to have a few. I've got a couple in, but not very many. The other thing is to encourage you, because there's still time to make a little project, and all it really is a project that Australia inspires you, whether it's the Australian landscape, animals, people, food, beaches, whatever. Just make a little project that is inspired by Australia, and we'll show it in a slideshow on Australia Day, January the 26th. What I decided to do was to make it even better, just a little something for those people taking part. I'm going to do a little giveaway, which I'll draw on the 26th. So first of all, there'll be 2 prizes for 2 different people. First will be a copy of the children's book, My New Blue Scarf, which is about a little girl, and it is for young children. And I thought I'd give one of these away. And the second prize will be, if you're not really interested in the book, I'd give a copy of the pattern, which is a knitted scarf by Jimmy Does Knitting. But you'll need to be on Ravelry to be able to get this prize if you win it. How do you enter? Well, it's open worldwide. You must be over the age of 18. Same YouTube rules apply as always. And I want you to leave a comment below. Either use the word book if you want to go in the draw for the book, or use the word pattern in your comment if you want to go in the draw for the pattern. If you're not fussed and you'd like to win either, put book and pattern in your draw. But that's my little giveaway for our Make Along collab this year, made in Australia. I've enjoyed it. I really have enjoyed it, and I'd be happy to do another one next year because I've already got a project back here for next year that I thought I would do. So guys, that's pretty much it for me. I'm trying to beat the storm of the power outages. It's really been quite trying and exhausting. I have something in the oven, and I happen to have an electric oven in now. I think I should have put it in the Weber queue because with the storm coming, we could have another power failure. Who knows? Isn't life fun when you rely on the weather to make it through the day? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Let me know in the comments below whether you want to win the pattern or whether you'd like to go in the draw for the book, or both. And yes, check out some of the links below for the make-alongs you can join in. Nervous hiccups? Sorry. Some of the make-alongs you might like to join in. Highly recommend the kaleidoscope now. Going to hiccup really badly now. And the Random Acts of Kindness, because that's always a great make-along. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and have a go using some of your variegated yarn. Bye for now.